Greetings YouTube, this is Chris McKee with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. Find us online at alamomusic.com. Now you guys seem to be a big fan of our list of videos talking about guitars, so we bring another one to you, a long-awaited list. We're looking at guitar values, acoustic guitar values, from $1,000 to $2,000. Now, as with our previous list, I want to give a disclosure. This is not an exhaustive list of every acoustic guitar available on the market from $1,000 to $2,000. First of all, that would take forever. Second of all, we don't carry all of those, and so I can't really do a video on stuff that we don't carry. And people ask sometimes why we don't, for various reasons. It's never to say that one brand is better than another or anything like that. There's just realities in the music business, and that's how it goes. But today what we want to do is we've looked through our inventory, looked at that price point, and taken a gander at what we think is the best value for your dollar, what you can get between $1,000 and $2,000. So what we're going to be focusing on is actually guitars from the big three. And if you don't know what the big three are, here they are. It's Martin, Taylor, and Gibson. Martin, Taylor, and Gibson are the big three manufacturers in acoustic guitars. They're American guitar companies, and they manufacture guitars in a wide price range. Gibson picking up around in this price point and going very far north of that. And Taylor and Martin offering guitars both below the $1,000 price point and well above the $1,000 price point. So there's something for everybody in the smorgasbord of wood and steel. So today what we're going to do is start with something from Taylor and kind of go from there. If you'd like to know specifics about each one beyond what we're covering in the video, go to alamomusic.com and you can click on Shop and Acoustic Guitars and narrow it down by price point. You'll see all of these guitars and many others there available for you to peruse. This one is a Taylor 214 CE Deluxe, and over my left shoulder here, stage right, we have a Taylor 220 Deluxe Koa. The 200 series is a huge value, and it basically falls in the first part of this range, if you will, from about $1,200 on up. Now, what's great about it is it gives you a lot of professional features in an acoustic guitar at a good value, great price point. There is some give and take right at this price point in order to get some aesthetic choices, case, pickup, gloss finish, things like that, while not being all entirely solid wood construction. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about that as we go up in price. But here is a 14 body. It's a Grand Auditorium. It features a spruce top. This one has layered rosewood back and sides, crisp white binding. It is a 1/11/16" nut. It's got a tusk nut, micarta saddle. It's got their ES2 pickup system, same pickup system that's on their more expensive guitar models as well. Slotted diamond inlays, and I love this Italian acrylic rosette. That's according to Taylor specifications on their website. And I know what you're asking, what is Italian acrylic? Well, it's acrylic that is more passionate than American acrylic. It's got a sapele neck on it, and it comes with a hard shell case. Now, what's cool about this, and we've talked about this model specifically in depth in other videos, is that you have a lot of options available. So you can get this same guitar with rosewood back and sides with a sunburst top. You can get it with a black finish. You can get it with a Koa top, Koa back and sides, spruce top, Koa back and sides, as well as a newly released that we have in stock, quilted sapele back and sides with a spruce top. You can also get it, instead of in the Grand Auditorium version, in a dreadnought version. So if you need more of a strumming machine, you want that boxy sound, you can get it with the same iterations. So this happens to be a Koa version. So it's pretty much the same specs, only it's a dreadnought with a Koa top and back and sides. Gosh, that's gorgeous. Woo. That's really nice. I should turn, like they put the strings on the wrong side. Do you ever feel like that? Anyways, so great value for the money. Check out alamomusic.com to check the latest pricing, because it can change, and the options that are available for this, as well as the 220 version or the 210 version, depending upon the wood top. So we're going to give you a chance to hear what these two guitars sound like before we move on to our next option. Okay, so we have another Taylor to show you, and this is a Taylor that's, again, representative of a line from Taylor, and that's the 300 series. This is a 314 CE Limited. But in the 300 series, there's grand concert bodies, grand auditorium bodies like this, dreadnoughts, grand symphonies. The 300 series represents the entry level into an American-made Taylor with solid top, back, and sides. And it's a huge value because by and large, pretty much anything in the 300 series can be had for just under our price point of $2,000. And that's with or without a cutaway, with or without electronics, and various wood top options, so you can get spruce with sapele back and sides, or mahogany with a black wood back and sides. One thing that's typical of a solid wood American-made guitar in this price point is that usually it'll be satin finished, or it'll have a gloss top and satin back and sides. In this particular case, it is a gloss spruce top, and the back and sides are satin. This saves money. So I mentioned that we would kind of be coming back around to this when I was talking about the 200 series. The 200 series is all gloss. It's got nice inlays on it. It's got a nice rosette. It comes with a nice hard shell case. All of those kind of offset the fact that the back and sides are layered, and that it's built down in Mexico. So you kind of have, and this price point, for the most part, usually one or the other. And that's a general guide across price points. If you see something that is, say, all glossy and solid wood and under $2,000, then it wasn't made in North America, generally speaking, if it's new. So just some guidance as you're looking at different guitar listings and whatnot on the internet. But the 300 series has been the workman's guitar for a long time with Taylor. It's got some great appointments. So this one happens to be a limited edition. We've done a full review on this, tortoiseshell binding, spruce top. That's a Lutz spruce top, actually, in this case. It's got scalloped standard 2 bracing with a relief route on it. That's standard for the series. This one is Tasmanian blackwood back and sides. You can get it with sapele, and Sitka spruce top is typical. Usually it's chrome hardware. This one happens to have gold. And this one has some nice inlays, but usually it's just a dot inlay. So, it's a great guitar in that price point for that money. I mean, it's something that would play fantastically and age and open up, but it's not so precious that you don't want to gig with it, if that makes sense, if that hits home for some of you guys. And on a limited edition like this, you get a lot of value because you get what's already a great deal of a guitar with some extra features. Okay, so now we're looking at Martin guitars. These are, this one in my lap and the one over me, are part of the PA series, which is the Performing Artist series for Martin guitars. Now, this is a fairly new addition to their lineup over the last few years, and what it is primarily American-made guitars built in their Nazareth, PA factory, featuring solid wood construction and features for the performing artist, hence the name. So what you're going to have are thin profile necks, built-in electronics, and cutaways, along with solid wood construction, scallop bracing, and a hard shell case. That's pretty much standard features throughout. All of them have solid spruce tops, and then you'll have sapele back and sides, or in this particular case, rosewood back and sides, which is always designated with an R at the end of the model number. So this one is an OMCPA 4R. Over here is a GPCPA This is an OM body, this is a GP body, and fairly new body from Martin, a Grand Performance body. There's dreadnoughts available and so forth, but the whole idea is, right in this price point that we're talking about, between $1,000 to $2,000, you get an American-made Martin guitar, solid wood construction, pickup, case. It's really a lot of value for your buck. So we're going to demonstrate both of these for you. The body size is a little bit different. The Grand Performance body is a little larger, it's a little deeper than the OM body that I have here in my lap. Both have cutaways, both have electronics. So the tonal differences you're going to hear are due to the body size and the tone wood used for the back of it. So let's check it out. Okay, so now we're going to a tried and true series of guitar from Martin. It's been around for many, many years. We've covered it before, so it shouldn't be a stranger to you if you've watched our channel for any length of time. But if you're new to Martin or new on your search for a guitar, let me introduce you to the 15 series. The 15 series has played an important role in Martin's lineup for many, many years. And what it is basically a very understated and at this point very vintage-esque guitar series from Martin. It's made here in America in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. It features all solid wood construction of mahogany, genuine Honduras mahogany. Mahogany top, back, and sides. And it's very understated. It's a rosewood fingerboard, rosewood bridge, single band rosette. Not a lot of fancy inlay. It's nice slotted diamond inlays on that rosewood fingerboard. The neck or the headstock has these wonderful butterbean open back tuners and the vintage Martin script logo up here. Recently they've added to it this guitar that's over my shoulder and some others like it, cutaway and electronics for a little bit more money. But we talked about some trade-offs, right? So these are satin finished. They're not gloss. Most of the lineup does not have a pickup, does not have a cutaway. That is an option now on a little bit more expensive models, but still falling into our price point that we're looking at. And they all feature solid wood construction, scallop bracing, and a hard shell case. By and large, they're a fantastic value. They sound great, and they're, for a lot of people, really some of their favorite Martin guitars because they have this kind of vintage aesthetic and tone. It's really a bluesy sound to my ear. Anytime you have an all mahogany guitar, particularly with this mahogany top, it compresses the sound and it really gives you this snappy tone so that if you play some emphasized blues lines on it, it works really, really well. And it looks the part as well. So these are great guitars. They come in a variety of body sizes. So this is a 00015M. Over my shoulder is a DC15ME. This model is also available in the 12 fret, which will give you a slope-shouldered body. So it's a 00015MS, slotted headstock, 12 fret neck, slope shoulder. They have a 00015 available as well. And of course the normal dreadnought. Just an awesome American-made guitar that's just oozing with vintage appeal and is a great value. So if you're looking for a great vintage sound in an American-made Martin guitar, this would definitely be something that you want to check out at this price point. So we're going to play both of these so you can hear the difference in the body sizes. Okay, so last of our big three that we're going to talk about today is Gibson. Gibson's been around a long time, and they make some fantastic electric guitars and acoustic guitars. Now, they are most famous for certain models like the J45, the SJ200, and some of those models, particularly on vintage reissued ones, can get rather expensive. But there's a lot of value to be had in their lineup as well in this price point that we're talking about. And we're going to talk about two kind of lines of guitars, if you will. The first one right here are some of the dreadnoughts. This particular one is a J15. You also want to look at the J35. Both of those are historic models in Gibson's lineup. They are slope shoulder dreadnoughts. They've been around for a long time, and they fall in the price point that we're talking about, between $1,000 and $2,000. The other one is a fairly new addition to Gibson's acoustic lineup, and that's their HP, or High Performance series, which I have over my shoulder here. These guitars represent basically some streamlined features, solid wood construction, nitro finish, pickup, cutaway, case, similar to the Performing Artist series we saw from Martin. It's meant to be a more modern take on a vintage guitar for the performer who's on a budget. So if you're looking for something with a cutaway and a pickup from Gibson, they've got you covered, and it's an affordable guitar. And it also has some nice features that you typically don't see in an American-built acoustic guitar in this price point. So let's start with the J15. So the J15 is a solid Sitka spruce top. It is walnut back and sides, really killer. This one has some nice subtle flame to it. It's a maple neck, rosewood fingerboard and bridge, or actually I think it's walnut fingerboard and bridge, and a little single band abalone rosette here, dot inlays, and the Gibson logo in gold foil. Mini Grover tuners up here on the headstock as well. This also has a pickup in it, and instead of cutting a hole in the side, we've just got a little volume knob here, and then your in-pin jack is through the strap button at the bottom. It's an LR Baggs element pickup, and it sounds fantastic. So plug and play ready. It has fully gloss, nitrocellulose finished body, scallop bracing, and it comes with a Gibson hard shell case. So a lot to love at this price point. And I mean, we're talking about middle of the packet, between $1,000 and $2,000, you get a J15. That's huge. I mean, that's a great deal. So definitely you want to check these out because they've got that Gibson tone. And if I could articulate what we've looked at so far, Taylor has this particular tone that's has a lot of clarity. You can strum a chord and you can hear every single note. Martin has more of a throaty sound to it, more low end, and an emphasis on the low and low mids within that tonal spectrum. Regardless of what tonewood you choose from them or body size, that's typical of the Martin tone. Gibson is what I like to call a kind of a lo-fi tone, where unlike Taylor, where you strum a chord, you hear every note, with Gibson, you strum a chord and you hear that chord. You hear kind of like this general sound coming out of it. And particularly for certain types of music, Americana, blues, folk, rock, what have you, that's fantastic. And if you want an acoustic guitar that doesn't cut through but really sits in the mix, I really like it for that as well. but there is a lot of variance between the bodies and the tone woods that you choose from within Gibson, and a lot of difference with this that we'll play here in a little bit. It's also a slope shoulder dreadnought, but it's a shallower body than on this one. Also on the HP platform, there are small jumbos and whatnot. So a lot of cool things to look at, and it fits within the budget that you're probably in if you're watching this video. So let's check out the J15 first. So I hope you enjoyed our review of some value acoustic guitars within the $1,000 to $2,000 lineup. Again, these are from the big three: Taylor, Martin, Gibson. What it represents is that there's a lot of bang for your buck, a lot of value in this price point, and a lot of features, pickups, solid wood guitars, what have you. If you have any questions about these, go to our website, alamomusic.com. Take a look at our acoustic guitar lineup, and feel free to shoot us a question either via email or on our website. We're here to help you find the right instrument to fit your needs. So if you're looking for a guitar, feel free to pick our brains. That's what we're here for, so that we can find the right one for you. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and if you haven't done so, don't forget to subscribe.